And that's the gun, they're off. And Mansfield have already swung wide, so if Lincoln can stay out of the stream, then they can close up about a length. Well, it looks like they've already closed.
That's a rapid start from Lincoln, straight out the blocks there, flying away.
But St Hugh's are also giving hot pursuit. And I can hear a whistle outside the window, so that's indicative that one of them's at least a length away. Pembroke too look like they're really trying to catch Somerville. And we've got some action at the bottom as well. Is that Brasenose on Lineker? No, Worcester.
Worcester. Yeah, really, really rapid start from quite a few of these crews. And I think we could be seeing a bump in the next moment or so.
Because they know that Peters are strong, so they're going to come out the blocks and see if they can get the bump before they get bumped. Cox having a look round to see where that crew is, and the crews at the top of the division are quite close as well. It's very close to between Mansfield, Brasenose and Lincoln. Pembroke have seemed to have strided out a bit. If that's the past tense of stride, I don't know.
Yeah, that Lineker Worcester contest is holding up at the bottom, and that looks like St Peter's coming up as well. So we could have sort of a three-way competition going on here at the bottom of the division.
So Peters are going very wide, which is an interesting choice. And that looks like it's a concession from Brasenose. So Brasenose have been bumped by Mansfield, and Mansfield will paddle out, meaning Lincoln will be chasing them down now. Peters have gone incredibly wide, and that could be quite costly. Oh, and it looks like Lincoln have conceded to St Hugh's. Maybe just with the idea that that'll give them a clearer run of... that's a double-handed concession. That's bold. Hands-free steering.
Yeah, St Hugh's line there, very, very wide. And it looks like they're going very wide again around this corner here.
And Peters, what are they doing? That is potentially going to cost them that bump. They've got the speed, but they haven't got the steering. Worcester have maintained their distance on Lineker, which is quite good for Lineker, really, that they've not been caught yet. They will be sending those dirty puddles to Worcester, and they are only about a couple of feet away from them, but they do need to close it right down, and that Cox is not going to concede early.
No, absolutely not. And Lineker looking fairly composed there as well, despite being under pressure from the Worcester crew behind them.
Yeah, they're rowing their own race, and that's kind of what the Cox should be telling them to do. Oh, and they're very close for the bump on, who's that? Pembroke?
Pembroke, I believe, yeah.
Oh, God. It's a bump fest. This is interesting. This is concession from Worcester to Peters, so their steering eventually was okay. I thought they were going to hit the trees.
Yeah, absolute bonanza of division here with bumps. Everything going on.
Be interesting to see if there are any appeals, although it does look quite clear cut at the minute, so they might be all right. They've opened up a bit of a gap between Brasenose, Lincoln, and Somerville, with Mansfield and Hughes having bumped out already. Pembroke are still racing, having been bumped by Lineker, by the looks of it. And Worcester are chasing them down as they've just been bumped by Peters. Christchurch have done a very early crossing, which might be tactical, might be accidental, we don't know.
Yeah, interesting steering in this division.
Yeah. You'd think with two previous attempts at it, that it might be a bit better than that, but that being said, we don't know what's going on in the boat and whether, there's crabs or...
Yeah, absolutely. Expect the unexpected. I think is the way to go about this from a Cox's point of view.
So Worcester have closed up on Pembroke by about a length, two and a half lengths, given that they started quite a way back. But I don't think they'll have enough river to fully catch them. We're in quite a nice rhythm, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it would take something fairly catastrophic for that Pembroke crew to be caught now. Never say
Well,
never,
based on,
but I
I was
can't
going to
see
say,
it.
based on the steering in this division, might be all right. But and there we've got Christchurch at the bottom of the division. You can see their blades, so they are closing a bit of a gap on Worcester. I'm sure the camera angle makes it look a bit worse than it is, but if they stay kind of on Worcester's bow side and then try and pin them in, they could try and get a bit of a bump, although they did steer a bit too aggressively there, I think. Getting a lot more strokes in though.
Yeah, really ramping up there from the Christchurch crew towards the end, just trying to squeeze it in. But I doubt we're going to see any more bumps before the clacker comes down with these three crews.
And that'll be a painful row for Christchurch because they've really gone for it in those last few strokes. But